If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in a Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft. Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener. Buy merch, indeed, a challenge shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener, yes, dear listener, yes, dear listener. Our night is coming to a close, but we've got more music for you.
Yes, we do.
And speaking of which, Upon atomically, Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can't define how the Japanese mockeries lyrically perform armed robbery, flee with the lottery. Possibly they spotted me. Battle scar, shogun, explosion with my pen hits tremendous. Ultraviolet, shine blind, forensic. I inspect view to the future, see millennium. Killer bees sold 50 gold, 60 platinum. Shackling the masses with drastic rap tactics. Graphic displays melted steel like blacksmiths. Black wool jackets, queen bees ease the guns in. Rumbling with patrolmen, tear gas slates to function. Heads by the score, take fight inside the war, chicks hit the floor, die hard fans, demand more. Behold the bold soldier, patrol the globe slowly, proceed to blow, spinning swords like shinobi, stock grounds and pounds, hook into solid rock. Who got a lock, performing live on your hottest blog. As the world turns, I spread like germs, bless the globe with the pestilence, the hard-headed never learn. It's a testament for most birth. Anyway,
who's that?
Anyway,
who is it? It reminded me of Jay, some of it, when you did it.
Anyway,
who was it?
275 knows.
Who's that?
He knows. That's Inspector Deck on Triumph.
Okay.
Greatest verse of all time. Second greatest verse of all time. Okay. It's between that and Big's verse and Notorious Thugs. Those two, I don't know. I
mean, that's a pretty big compliment.
Yeah, it's a pretty big one. Okay.
All right. The Flying Lotus.
Flying
Lotus, The Climb.
Yes, sir.
Negative Vibes comes in with a comment saying Flying Lotus is the recording name for Los Angeles native Steve Ellison. One of the most prolific names in the new jazz-tronica musical movement.
Wait, jazz-tronica?
Yeah, look. New jazz-tronica.
Okay, that should be interesting.
Musical movement, which is a modern iteration of jazz music fused with elements of hip-hop and electronic subgenres like what is this? Ilbient?
Huh?
Ilbient?
Huh? IDM, Glitch, and others.
Here's the founder of the record label Brainfeeder with a label synonyms with the genre.
Synonymous with the genre. And he has collaborated with dozens of artists, including one of MF Doom's final recorded tracks. Fun fact, he's also the grandnephew of the late jazz pianist, Alice Coltrane, the wife of the legendary saxophone player John Coltrane. Whoa. The song The Climb was released in 2019 and features bass and vocals from Thundercat, who is one of the best bassists in music today. The two artists have similar backgrounds and their sounds blend seamlessly in all of the collaborations they do together.
Let's hear this.
All right, so here is The Climb, Jazz-tronica.
Do you want me to send it to you?
I already have them. You're too late. I'm ahead of you at this point. It's too late to apologize.
Let's go.
It's too late. All right, here we go, guys. Flying Lotus, let's do this shit. Negative's an eclectic.
Turn around, something trips me up. Soon as I feel I got a grip, shit starts to slip.
Oh no.
When my mind wonders where I've been through all of this, all that I'm reminded of is that I just can't quit. It's for sure an uphill fight and a downhill fall. If you're gonna get started up anyway, then you might as well climb. Live, love, learn, love, die, then you fly. High, high, low, low, low. Live, love, learn, love, die, then you fly. High, high, fly high. I can't believe all the crap that there is to sift. I am so sick of all of it. When's it gonna end? Most of the things we're going through make no sense. Even though you feel alone, it's not the end. And when you feel feeling out of place, don't be leave behind. Just close your eyes and take a breath, and you'll be alright. Don't let the nonsense get to you. Be like water, my friend. Even if you gotta punch your way to the end. Live, life, learn, love, die, then you fly. Fly high, oh, oh, oh. Live, life, learn, love, die, then you fly. Fly high, fly high. Live, life, learn, love, die, then you fly. Fly high, fly high.
Our Amazon account is up and running now. We are selling our formula officially. It's amazing stuff from Europe.
Made in Germany. Sold in America.
Highest standards there are. In America, the standards haven't been updated since 1980. It's super weird, like older than me. In Europe, they update safety standards basically every year. This formula is top notch, great for the stomach, great for constipation. This is a great product. If you happen to want to purchase it and join us on our journey, then grab the link in the description. If you do and leave a review for us, send me a screenshot at vinandsori@gmail.com of your review after you have received the product. We will put your name in a hat. Song reviews are going to come out by some of the people that have left reviews. Don't forget to send us a screenshot of your review once you get the product. Now a word from our mascot dressed as a pirate, Fuji.
Ah! It's a steal of a deal.
Oh.
I think I like. That's jazz.
I love this. Well, I mean,
I think I like jazz a lot.
new jazz and yeah.
I don't know what the distinctives of jazz are. But
Yeah.
it just
That
feels
might be one of those things that you and I both enjoy is
it
jazz.
just feels very chill to me. You know that guy that we were I guess it was R&B, but the that guy, that whole style,
Yeah.
like that shit is smooth. It's just smooth, man. Like
Yeah.
it makes me feel cool. Like being in one of them like bars with the blue haze and the smoke, and then somebody's up there playing the music, and the girls were always like classy and had the red rose thing in their head while they're doing the thing or whatever. Yeah, I think I like jazz a lot, man. Jazz is one of the most complex genres, to be honest. Yeah, like I don't really, and I should, right? Because I'm black, but I don't. Yeah. What makes jazz jazz? My brother had a friend who was a big funk guy, but jazz was his number one thing. He played all the time. But funk I understood because Korn, some of their movements were like funky. It's hard to explain, but I was like, I felt like I saw the connection. Yeah. But jazz, I completely shut down because it didn't sound like Korn at all. So if it didn't sound like Korn at the time, I didn't want to hear what you had to say. But it's very interesting. I'm not sure what makes jazz. A Venn diagram of classic jazz and a 6-year-old with a recorder is just one circle of notes nobody wants to fucking hear.
I liked this song.
I loved this song.
How real it was, but it was also positive.
Right. Basically, don't let the bastards get you down. Basically.
Yeah, exactly. But then it had an upbeat sound to it too, and the high pitched parts I liked.
It was very, very encouraging. Lyrics are very simple, but sometimes you it's been a really good balance because the band before was extremely poetic, high on the poetry side, and the more poetic you are, the more valid interpretations you can get.
That's true. Yep.
This one is pretty straightforward, and really it's right there for you. Yep. But you kind of need both in your musical repertoire.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's cool when it's a topic like this because, he says every time I turn around something trips me up. As soon as I feel like I got a grip, shit starts to slip. So he's talking about everything just it's always falling down around me. You can see he's really in this negative headspace, and then the second verse comes in and he's saying most of the things we're going through make no sense. Even though you feel alone, it's not the end. And when you're feeling out of place and nowhere you can hide, just close your eyes and take a breath. You'll be all right. Don't let the monsters get to you. Be the one, my friend. Even if you have to punch your way to the end. I feel like when there's a message that's because we complicate things, right? So when stuff happens, 100%. Sometimes I try to sit down and think about what things are common to all of us. And one thing that is common to all of us is we will experience pain. There will be forms of pain in your life, and it's going to come in varying forms. And the degree to which you've experienced pain is the degree to which the pain will affect you too. For instance, if you've been through a lot of things, something small is not going to bother you like the bigger things are. Simultaneously, if you haven't been through a lot of things, then the small things feel like big things because that's all you know. So there's a sense to which all of us in our pain are pushed to our limits, even though our pains are different.
Yeah.
And
that's a good point.
It can get really complicated because you start looking at it, and if you start feeling like you're the only one, the universe or God or whatever has some vendetta against you, or karma's a bitch, maybe you've done a lot of things and you're it's always coming back. When will the karma stop coming around to me? You know what I mean? Without recognizing that that is part of life now, that we all are going to experience that. So when he's talking about that, but then he goes into this positivity about it, if you feel alone, it's not the end, and it's so simply put. Sometimes when stuff gets crazy, you need somebody to come in and just simplify that shit. You're all going you guys are going in way too many directions. Everybody's just slow down. And then when he slows you down, he just tells you, look, even if you feel like you're alone, it's not the end. And right now you might feel alone, but it doesn't mean that you're going to feel alone tomorrow or the day after. You know what I mean? It's just
Negative Vibes has the most contradictory nickname I've ever seen in my life.
I know.
Because he's one of the most positive people in this community. This is a song he selected, right?
Well, maybe he's positive, and he keeps getting like people keep trying to throw negative vibes at him.
Yeah. The guy. Yeah, it's a complete. He's got to be, honestly, like literally one of the most positive people in the community. Like,
what are you doing here?
It's true. The fuck are you doing? But
solve this mystery. All right, so.
Yeah, and you know, these are throwaway lines that you see at Walmart. Live, laugh, learn, don't die, and you'll fly. Like, it sounds simplistic, but it's like, when you come at the world from a perspective of a student,
mm-hmm. Right,
and that problem, that issue is a teacher. Some people call me a terrorist. I consider myself a teacher. When you that's such an anticlimactic movie. I didn't even did I tell you about that guy?
I was literally thinking, I wonder which movie that came from or what situation.
Iron Man, and the guy is the bad guy. I forgot the name of the bad guy, but it's like I don't know. We'll probably watch it. I don't know if we'll watch it together, but like there, when that scene happened, I was like, what the fuck? Okay, I'm gonna. Here's a spoiler alert. Okay, I'm very sorry, but there's this guy, and I forgot the guy's name, but he's like the main bad guy, like halfway through the movie, right? So he's like this terrorist, and he's blowing shit up. He's like, blowing up an entire city and shit. You're like, oh my god, this guy is like the worst. Mm-hmm. And then he's got that voice, like some people call the Manchurian. See. See, he knows what I'm talking about.
That scene is so funny.
Yeah, it is, because it's like, okay, this man, holy shit, this guy, this is going to be some shit. This is going to be an epic battle. Halfway through the movie, it turns out, I forgot what it was, but it basically wasn't really him. He wasn't really the terrorist. He was basically, and he was just this guy in like these fancy clothes. He's with all these girls. He was just basically like a rock star. It wasn't him the whole time. Like, he was impersonating being the bad guy. It wasn't him. He was just some. So like halfway through the movie, like, holy shit, the Manchurian. Oh no, this guy's terrible. And then it turns out he's just like some rich guy, with a lot of money and a lot of girls around him. He didn't believe in shit. Like, he wasn't really a bad guy. I'm sorry for blowing it up for whoever was watching it, but man, they featured that dude in the commercial too. So it's like you were like really set up to like this epic battle against the Manchurian. Subhanallah. I'm gonna show you the scene when we get off. But like, it's unfortunate because you can't really experience like how.
Yeah, I feel like I have to watch the whole movie.
Stupid and anticlimactic that moment was. I was so disappointed because you know I love bad guys and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you were sizing up to see some battle.
It was so disappointing. Yeah, it was just an actor they hired to be the face of the terror. He wasn't really a gangster. Oh. But anyway, if you look at life. This is another sort of perk of our worldview. That there's nothing that happens that doesn't have a telos or some reason or purpose behind it. So if something bad is happening, people love that karma thing. I think the karma concept is a really dangerous concept, man. It's a really dangerous concept because, for example, there's this guy in the Bible named Job. And we just had a conversation about this on the other YouTube channel that I'm a part of. It's called God's Atheist Experiment. If you want to hear me and an atheist, we're not going at it. We're looking at the Bible as a story and literature and interfacing with the characters. I've never seen anything like it before. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
But there's this guy Job, and it says he's the most righteous man in all the world. And so Satan, I'll just call him Satan for now. The devil shows up to God and says, well, I mean, anybody can be righteous if they're rich and all their kids are there and they're mega healthy and they
right, but strike him and
we take all that shit away from him and see how righteous he is.
Mm-hmm.
So Job loses everything, and what Job says is the Lord gives, the Lord takes away, blessed be the name of the Lord. Subhanallah. Okay. Job's friends come up to him and say, the reason all this shit happened to you is because you've got some secret badness in there somewhere.
Yeah, this is it.
You did something wrong to deserve this. They're operating on the karmic paradigm.
Yeah.
And by the end of the book, God shows up to Job's friends and says, I'm really fucking mad at you guys because you misrepresented me.
You better hope Job prays for you.
So it's like, what's going on? And the issue is, Job's suffering had nothing to do with his karma. It was actually because he was good
Yes.
that he suffered.
Right.
At the end of the book, Job says, I had heard you before with the hearing of the ear, but now my eyes see you. And I asked
I repent in dust and ashes.
I asked
It's
my
crazy.
atheist friend, I said, if your kid was blind from birth and some strange procedure happened, but breaking his leg would restore his eyesight, would give him his eyesight because he was born blind. Would you do it?
I would absolutely do that.
He said yes.
Yeah.
I said, so you would bring pain into your child's life in order to give him eyesight. What you're saying is that eyesight is more valuable than that pain is painful. That's what you're saying.
Right.
Okay. So when Job says, I had heard you with the ear, but now my eyes see you, all that shit that happened to him before, he's saying that was a broken leg and it hurt like a bitch. But now I see you. My relationship with God, like I'm seeing you in a completely different way.
Yeah.
So that pain was worth that vision. That's why he was in
Seeing
pain.
you in a different way. I never thought of that.
See what I'm saying? So what Job's friend did was said, you did something bad to deserve this.
Yeah.
And God was saying, you did something good to gift this. The pain was a gift for him to go somewhere else, and it was a reward for his goodness. So we got to be really careful with the karma idea. Somebody's suffering and you're like, yeah, karma's a bitch. And you know what? We generally only pull that out for people we dislike.
I know.
So when something bad happens to somebody we dislike, we go, karma's a bitch.
It's so
But it's
true.
somebody that we like or it's us. Why is this happening to me?
Yeah, it's true. Or we cut somebody off and we're not like, oh boy, karma's a bitch. I'm gonna get that back to me. You know what I mean? We'll treat people
or on the other hand, you have some people like you who are so self-critical that everything that happens is karma. And God's like, no, it has nothing to do with that. I love you, and this pain is necessary for you to get here. It has nothing to do with your bad karma. Mm-hmm. Yeah, was it Bono said grace trumps karma? I don't want karma. I don't want karma for me, and I don't want karma for any of my friends, because all of you have done bad things.
Well, what's the difference between karma and you reap what you sow?
Well, what a man sows, he reaps is a principle, but it is not a one-to-one correlation with the way that God acts in the world.
Okay, that's what I was going to say.
Okay, so there are principles that happen that God has set into the universe so that we don't spin off into chaos.
Yeah.
Right? But as far as how God acts on the individual, he acts personally with each individual.
Right.
And so we have to be careful. There are times when God's like, okay, I'm going to fuck you up. Like the Israelites, they were being bad to immigrants.
Mm-hmm. Just say that again for the ones in the back.
The Israelites were being bad to immigrants. So God said, oh, you don't like immigrants? Great. I'm going to send the Babylonians and they're going to leave your wives, widows, and your children orphans. How's that? So there are times when God says, okay, I'm going to fuck you up.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of times when that's not what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening is the pain is a teacher. And a lot of times people have said, oh, Vin, you're deep, blah, 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 blah. It's not because I read books. It's because I've been in a lot of pain. And pain forces a certain kind of depth out of people. And from that pain and the depth that you get with God, because you're constantly asking the question, what are you trying to teach me? There's a reason that when Jesus showed up, he didn't show up as a king, a jihadist. He showed up, the number one thing his disciples called him was teacher, rabbi. So like the entire thing is a lesson. And if you look at life that way, then karma is included in the lesson, but it is not.
Yeah.
It is one of like 6 or 7 options. Mm-hmm. One of it, I was stupid. Like, oh, you're hammering a nail and you're okay, boom, you hit the nail. Okay, that's not karma. Right? It's just you're not good at multitasking.
Right.
Right? So sometimes you suffer because you're stupid. Other times you suffer because other people are stupid. Uh-huh. Other times but still, even with my stupidity with the hammer thing, there's a lesson to be learned there, which is, hey, I'm not good at multitasking. So I got a throbbing finger, and you get behind the wheel of your car, and you got a throbbing finger. And then that voice in your head says, hey, you just smashed your finger. You sure you want to text and drive? And you might go, fuck it. I'm not going to text and drive today because I got a fucked up finger. And you don't realize that you just saved yourself from a car wreck. So even though, boom, this means I'm stupid, if you say, what is there to learn from this interaction? You literally could save your life and the life of your friends. So if you look at the world as, if you look at events in life as segments of a curriculum, then you're going to interpret pain differently. I'm not saying you're not going to experience the pain, because there's something wrong with me where I experience pain at such deeper levels than everybody else, for whatever reason. But, so I don't want to glorify pain. I'm just saying happiness is also a teacher, right? Like, if I'm watching and somebody got faked, they let their guard down, and then bang! That connection is so beautiful to me. And it makes me happy. Well, that says something about me. Right? So everything is a teacher, from the mundane to the majestic. It's all and even that guy, some people call me terrorist, I consider myself a teacher. He was like this big bad guy, and then we looked at him, he wasn't really like that. So when I think about evil in the world, there's a part of me that's like, yeah, man, but you're not really like that, bro. Like, you don't got the power like that. You are a stand-in for something else. Think about that. The guy was projecting that he was this powerful terrorist, destroying everybody, terrorizing everybody, but in reality, he was a puppet for something else. He wasn't the issue. So look at the world stage right now and put two and two together. But anyway, it's all a lesson. Jesus is a teacher. If you'll learn, inshallah. Okay. I love this song. I love jazz.
This is great.
Great. You do have to respect the check hook, though. You do have to respect the check hook. I love 275, man. The man's a man after my own heart. He's afflicted with a love of violence.
Oh my God.
He is.
Oh no.
He is. He that's why I love him. There's certain people I love for horrible reasons, but God says, well, it's good that you love him. Pray for him. All right, 9.5.
Ooh.
I just love the jazz.
This one's a 10 for me because it means a lot of things. So I'm not gonna get into those things.
Okay.
But definitely, it's a 10 for me, and I like the positivity. I like there being some sort of a solution, and the solution is not a silver bullet. It's just, stuff doesn't make sense sometimes, and sometimes you feel alone, and sometimes, you know what I mean, all these things. But like, just fight your way to the end, and don't let the monsters get you, and live, laugh, love, don't die, and you fly high. Like, to me, it was just like that: live, love, be happy, and just make the best of what you have, like whatever experience. And like you said, like if we look at every obstacle or anything that comes our way to say, what is there for a lesson to learn in this, and you learn something, and you accept that lesson, you humble yourself, you accept that lesson, then you're in a better place, and that pain point is now something that you learn from, so it can help ease some of the pain of some situations. But obviously that doesn't cure everything, but certainly doesn't cure everything to just look at everything so darkly and dimly all the time, and to lose complete hope.
Which I do. 98% of the time, I don't look at it this way.
Yeah.
But that's why it's important that you take some time and figure out who you want to partner your life with. Because if I didn't have you around, I'm going to talk about that. Like I said, God understands all of us, understands our weaknesses. He looked at me and said, yeah, that boy needs some help. So you're around. So be wise also about who you choose to put in your life, man. Some of the pain in your life is fucking self-inflicted. You got to be wise about the person that you devote your heart and your life to. And I wasn't wise. I just lucked out. But again, a lot of it is God just understanding that boy, he needs some help. So thank you for playing your position. Okay, we've got one more song left, dear listener. Did you score the song?
I give it a 10.
I gave this a 9.5, but the rule is any song that makes it into my phone at minimum has to be a 9.8. So it got bumped up.
Oh, yeah.
It got bumped up because it ended up on
It ended
up on my phone.
My phone's dead, so I wasn't able to add it to a playlist. I'm gonna start putting now.
I guess there's some protesters and shit at the doctor's office. I don't know, like, why. What were they protesting? Pediatricians? Weird. All right, we'll talk about it on the other side of the break. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone.